Alright guys, I know it's been a while. It's Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrications. Just had a lot going on. Since February we've had the food truck out quite a bit, and so it requires a lot of attention and a lot of bigger events I had to be there for. Unlike today, Patty's going to have it at Village Motors here in Sullivan. She can handle that by herself. Not a whole lot of demand right there. I mean, there's good traffic, but this won't swamp her like what we've had with these events that we've been going to. So I'll kind of update you on what I've got done on Sketchy. I'm sorry I don't have any of it filmed. It was just a matter of getting some stuff done. I might show some more stuff here of getting things done. I'm looking for some input on some ideas, and but let's get started on what I got. So I've set the motor in and out, got motor mounts installed, got them offset to the side because on the rear end housing the drive shaft yoke is 3/4 of an inch off center, or it's 1.5 inches off center, which means I had to scoot everything over that much. And so in doing that, I had to make sure my motor mounts was scooted over, and my transmission mount, which you can barely see underneath there, I had to re-drill the holes in it over. The level of everything is still good. Also on the inside, after I had scooted the seating position back by redoing the frame, I redid a hoop inside of it, put some metal down for seating. I pulled the doors off. I had redone them with hidden hinges like you can see on the other side, and I did not like the way that was working. Plus, whenever I welded around the top side and had pulled everything in together nice and tight, now my doors weren't fitting. So I went ahead and pulled the door all the way off. I'm gonna have to redo it. I'm not sure how yet. I'd like some cool, maybe Gull Wing or Lambo style, but I'll probably just end up getting a couple hinges from Ace Hardware and just a couple barn door hinges and put them back on. Right now I am been focused on the inside, getting redoing the floor, because I never really had the floor in as a solid piece. It was all removable aluminum pieces, and then the seat was, as you saw, it was it's actually a 3rd gen Camaro back seat that I had mounted in here. I'll still be using it, but the way I've got it attached is going to be different. Things that I'll be doing going forward, I cut out the sill on this side. Once I get the door in place, or once I get I'm actually going to do the floor on out to this level, so that's all flush up through here, and then I'll redo the door so the door sill doesn't actually sit under the door, but the door will butt up against the edge of the floor. Yeah, if that makes sense. I'll be bringing the floor out level. You can see I got a back area here that it'll be sitting on top of. I got finish welding it in, and then I'll make a support up here in front, and then I'll have this box tubing here, which is actually cut for it right now, will go in there, and that way my floor is level all the way out to the edge of the door, and then the door will fit flush up against this piece here, and I'll seal around it just to keep the rattles down. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that whenever I didn't catch it when I was anchoring all this together and drawing it in, I didn't realize what it was doing to the doors. But yeah, they're gapped. The top fits fine, the bottom now has a gap in it. I don't know why. Kind of making it up as I go along. There's not really a blueprint game plan other than make everything better. I'm running across a lot of things that, well, like the whole deal of the drive shaft yoke being off, or the rear end housing being offset to one side. I had that on my other rear axle, and don't recall that I really allowed for it. I know I did. I don't remember offsetting the engine or transmission to the side to accommodate for it. How it worked, I don't know. It really didn't have any vibrations, even at 80 miles an hour. Everything felt good. My luck now, I'll get everything lined up like it's supposed to be, and then it'll shake, and then I really won't know what to do. But anywho, that's where I'm at right now. I plan on going through and redoing all my wiring I've cut into some of it while I was working. I should have disconnected from the back, got it all up out of the way, and I didn't do that. So going forward, all this wire needs to get up out of harm's way so I can get it just tucked up. I do plan on redoing it, but I'm going to have to remap it all out and re-sketch it so I know exactly what I'm doing. I do have the engine ready as far as it's bolted up. We got the stall converter in it now. So that's where I'm at right now. Upcoming things that maybe I'll remember to bring the camera out to before I work on will be these front pieces here. That was for when I first built Sketchy, and I used a tow bar. We towed it everywhere, and it was a good setup. I mean, it pulled good down the road. I would just jerk the axles out, cap off the axle opening, and we'd take it down the road, and then when I got to the event, I'd pop the axles back in. It was easier than dropping the drive shaft, I thought. Hindsight, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to get rid of those because I want to really redo the way my front control arms, the bottom control arms are mounted. I'm going to be using different ones, a little bit heavier. I really didn't have any trouble with bump steer, so I really don't want to mess with the way things were. I just want to make sure that everything's good and bulletproof, good and tight, good and overkill welded. But I still got to recheck some measurements. It still bugs me that what kind of prompted a lot of this was with the old rear end. It seemed like it was offset, and I need to go in and figure out why. Recheck my measurements on the frame, make sure everything's good and square. Yeah, I know it's kind of late for that, but anyway, so at least I know what I'm where the corrections need to be made and why. So I'll do some measurements, get square, check lengths, check my points on everything, and now where was I? Okay, yeah. So the center console, the handbrake and all that, I'm going to redo the mounting points on it. I'm afraid now it's going to be up a lot higher than it was, so I'm not real sure how I'm going to do all that yet. But I plan on go ahead and enclosing around the enclosing over the drive shaft. All that's going to be welded up, and then I'll maybe make this front part removable. I'm going to make another hoop just like that one up closer to the transmission, and then I'll make that one one piece, or maybe multiple, I don't know. But anyway, make that removable so I can access the drive shaft and the shift linkage to get it set up. So yeah, that is my plan so far. Yeah, I'm not, the battery, I need to cut that back out. The battery setup that I had is not going to work now with the engine scooted over. It possibly could if I went with a really smaller battery, but I'd rather not do that. So I'll be cutting that back out. And actually, Patty suggested, my wife, that we go back here in this dead space, which I think I can do with maybe half the battery sticking up. Maybe do it on the other side, on the passenger side, for weight distribution. Yeah, I could do that, and then enclose it in a box so that it's not exposed into the cab in case of an accident or anything. It would help contain the acid or whatever in the box and not be spilling it out over everything. So yep, that's a idea I gotta thank my beautiful bride for, because she was just looking at it and say, well, what about that space right there? And it's like, okay, hadn't even thought of that. But I had thought about moving it, but I knew that when I moved the seat back that I had lost where I thought, where I had it when I first built Sketchy. I had it behind the seat, and then I thought I was too far away, that I was having to use too long of cable going to the starter, but ended up being a bad starter. So now I'm confident that I can put the battery back here, run that longer cable, and everything will still work as intended. So yeah, maybe I'll shoot a video on that. That would be a good project for a video. Get some better lighting in there with me. But yep, that's your update video. My cousin Johnny messaged me this morning asking, so when's the next video gonna drop? And I know I knew I hadn't recorded anything, but I knew I was coming out to work on Sketchy today and some other projects. So yeah, this is your update video. Okay guys, this is why I'll never get rich being a YouTuber. I just can't seem to ever remember to bring my camera and record anything. So I was just going to end that last video with and make this one a whole nother video, and I thought, no, you guys, there's no point in me telling you what was going to be done on that one. And at the time I was going to edit that one, this work had been done, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and include this work too. This is now this was going to be a May update video. Now it's become a June, halfway through June video. So I'll go ahead and update you on the update. Things I was just showing you, things I've got done now. For instance, you can see here I went ahead and brought this up, and what I was trying to explain was the door. Now when the door closes, it'll hang down, it'll be down here, but it'll actually butt up against, it will close flush up against there. And I'll maybe put some weather stripping in there, some kind of foam camper seal or something to help keep the wind noise down. I don't know. But you can see other things I had talked about doing there. You can see the hump that I went ahead and put in, or the front hoop. You can see I went ahead and closed that hoop in. I got these pieces in here that wasn't originally there. This is going to stay removable because my master cylinder is under here. Let me show you that real quick. These screws are just temporary. These won't be able to use because they'll snag stuff too easily. These whatever they're called, wing nut types. But yeah, if you look under there, there's my master cylinder. And yeah, I had a thought come as I was editing the video that I would possibly, I wasn't going to reuse this. Let me turn it around proper. This thing weighs a ton, which is one of the reasons I really don't need it in there. But I may end up, because I got my parking brake attached to it, and I got my shifter attached to it. I'll probably redo my parking brake up into that, maybe. I'll have to see, but positioning wise, I don't want it to be under my elbow the whole time. Maybe I'll have it off to the side more. But I might cut this down and and attach it here and here, and then have removable side pieces, and I can cut down that weight quite a bit. I don't know, not for sure yet. That's just an idea I had come to me. But yeah, I've got that closed in. I still got a lot to do. A lot of it's just tacked in. I was really fighting with, I don't have the best welder, and I'm gonna stand behind that excuse forever. The one I've been using is my 110 from Lowe's. 110 Pro MIG 140, and it is I don't know, I've not used a lot of MIG welders, but I would have to think for the most part they're better than this. The control on the wire speed is just just a little bit here and here. It's like that's the difference between too much and too little is just that little bit there, which is stupid. I can't imagine what world I'd be in, would need it feeding that fast or that fast, unless you're running new wire. You run a new wire, yeah, then crank it up. I heard a comedian say one time about toasters. Why would you have a toaster that you can turn it up? If you turn it up, you know, halfway up, it'll burn your toast. Shouldn't that be all the way up to burn your toast? And then if you turn it halfway, then it's just medium. But yeah, so I'm not happy about that, which, like I said, it's 110. I was having trouble blowing breakers every 5 minutes. If I was really in the rhythm, getting a good bead laid down, you know, if I was lucky, I'd have a minute, and then I'd be resetting breakers on it, and it's just not been good. Every once in a while, I'd get a good bead down, but for the most part, I was fighting and fighting and fighting. So I got some heavier breakers. That's what I did, because I got tired of doing that. And so, well, you can see from this side, I did the same thing. I got my sill plate, I guess I'll call it. I got enclose this in, build it up, continue the floor to the center hump. I went ahead and cut this side of my transmission hump out because of the fact the transmission coming this way, it was hitting it. So once I get the transmission back in, this next time, get it bolted down, then I'll reposition this and fill in the gap in there and get it weld it back in. So that's will probably not be in the upcoming video because I don't do that, but it should be. So, you know, picture that being done, and that's your video. Earlier in the video, I had mentioned my wife Patty had suggested mounting the battery back here in some of this dead space that I had, and yeah, it was a perfect idea because I hadn't really even thought of that where she had suggested it. And so this is what I've got so far, and like I had said earlier, it's going to be once I get this enclosed, then there'll be a lid over top of it to seal it. It will gas to the outside, but I'm going to be able to run my big battery in here, and it really don't stick out that much. So to anybody that was concerned about having the battery, you know, engine compartment and racks and battery acid and all that, I really think battery acid would probably be the least of your concerns if you ever got in a situation that you're getting battery acid out. But this will be secured down, and it'll be have a lid on it, and so that's how it is right now. It's cocked back a little bit. I don't have it secured all the way. It's kind of tacked in. But yeah, that's what I did with her idea. I went ahead and put it on this side just to offset the weight, because, well, I guess one way to look at it is my wife holding this battery probably still weighs less than I do, but it would help balance out the load side to side. Or if I'm by myself, at least it gives it some weight on this side. Like that, it's gonna matter. I still haven't cut out the old one because that's the last thing I did was started working on that. So that's going to get cut out for sure now. And I've not done anything else in front. I've pretty much just been focused on this since I finished the last video. To cut each piece, make a pattern for it, go over, cut it out, come back, weld it in, do another pattern, back and forth, back and forth. It takes a while. It shouldn't, but when you got a welder that's not cooperating, it adds on. So yeah, I'm gonna finish getting this done out, and to kind of give you an idea, I mentioned earlier, yeah, let's make a lot of noise when you're trying to talk. I mentioned earlier that the seat was actually out of a third generation Camaro, and I'll show you how that actually plays in now. Let's see. Which in the third gen Camaro, this piece here, the back piece, actually had a big plastic board in it to help, you know, give you a structure for when you laid it down to put stuff on it. And have to get that from the other side. Okay, there you go. You get an idea now what the seating situation looks like, and those are actually quite comfortable. I had them bolted back last time. I might actually this time, there's a factory clip here. If I can figure out how to use it, that's what I'll use to hold it in place this time, so it's easier to remove. I may have these switched left to right, I don't know. But anyway, that's what seating will look like. And yeah, actually quite comfortable for a rat rod, I guess. And I might actually hunt for a new set now that I know what I had to do to these. Actually, and I don't think I really did anything to the lowers to make them fit. It was just this top one. I actually had to restitch this middle part, and I might do it again, cut up higher to get it lower down. I don't know. Get some back support out of it either way. But anyway, that's where I am now. So yes, I still didn't record any of this. It is what it is. Maybe I'll record when I do the hinges at the door. I wouldn't hold my breath, but we'll see. I guess one thing that got me so deterred from recording for a while is I had old cameras for a while, and it got to just a constant battle. The batteries were constantly shutting me down, and I just got fed up with it, and I didn't trust doing anything because my camera would shut down, and then I'd have to either swap battery out or I just wouldn't, and then I didn't have all my footage I needed. So that's where I got a new camera now, better quality, got a sound. Hopefully it's recording all the sound, or I'll have to redo this all again, and I probably won't. So anyway, so once again, except for not once again, because I didn't leave the other one in here. But so that's my new wrap up. That's the new update, the newer update for Sketchy and how we're getting along. And let me get that light, make sure, because I knew I had light issues in the last video for the inside. So now I got, okay. Anyway, maybe use that footage, maybe I won't. You can see the instrument cluster just ratchet strapped in place right now, so I knew where my trans tunnel would have to live. And yeah, here's a better shot of, you can see my, or maybe you can't, I don't know, but you can see the holes there. There's a pair that's to the right of the rest of them. That's how much I had to move the transmission over. Looks like just over an inch. So but yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I said, I don't know, just doing the video of all that, just for me, I don't know if it's interesting for anybody else. I know I watch other people do stuff like that all the time, but I just feel like they do a better job of presenting it, maybe. Either way, I don't know. We'll see what the next video is when if and when I make it. So let's get that sun not behind me. So we'll find out in the next video if and when I make it, if I actually recorded me doing anything, or I just ramble like I did in this one. So anyway, this is Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrications, living the dream till the freaking phone rings. Thanks for watching.